All right, we're starting the broadcast. And hi, this is Dr. Annette Cargioli from EPT Works, and we are doing a series of interviews with EPT practitioners so that you can kind of get to know practitioners who do this emotional healing work a little bit better. And if you're looking for a practitioner, this is a way to kind of meet them before you schedule an appointment. So tonight we're talking to my baby sister, Sherry Hamilton. Hi, Sherry.
Hi, Annette. Good to talk to you.
Good. I'm so grateful that you came on to do this with me. I'm hoping that this kind of like breaks the ice with other practitioners who aren't my sister, but have become my healer sisters, I guess. So we're going to start, and I'm just gonna ask you to tell me a little bit about your practice, what you do, where you're at. I'd like all the details so somebody watching will know exactly how to contact you and where you're at.
Okay, well, I'm in Huntsville, Alabama, and I've got two offices, and the main office that I use is in the Snelling building at 1813 University Drive. You can find me at eptworkshuntsville.com or on Facebook. I like it when people like my page and put a review up there. That'd be great. My phone number is 256-783-1928, and you can text me, call me, email me at eptworks2.com. Any of those things work.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Thanks.
Okay, so next question I want to ask you. I'm just curious because a lot of EPT practitioners have a lot of things in their bag of tricks. They learn more and more about healing as they do EPT, and also some of them just come into EPT after they've already done a lot of healing work. So besides EPT, emotional polarity technique, what therapies or modalities do you use to heal?
Well, I've done several through the years, but currently I use emotional freedom technique, which is also called EFT, sometimes during an appointment because it helps bring the cortisol levels down of the person I'm working on. So it's just an added benefit to calm them. The second thing that I added just last year, even though I've known about it for 20 years, because studying with you have been teaching about the Infratonic 9 sound machine. I started using that a year ago regularly on clients, and it's been incredible. I like it. And occasionally I also use essential oils, but not as much. Really just EPT. When people come to me, they come for EPT, and I stick pretty much to that.
That's fantastic. Now, I know that there's probably a lot of people who don't know that you are also trained as a massage therapist.
Yeah, I do massage therapy, but it's actually getting less and less. I haven't been taking new clients, and I've been increasing my EPT clients.
So, the next question I have for you, you've been doing EPT for years and years, longer than a lot of people, and that's because you're my sister and you've known me through this whole journey. So, my question is, what made you decide to get training in emotional polarity technique?
Wow, 20 years ago when you first worked on me, and I felt amazed and amazing, and then I needed more work and more work, and once you started giving classes, I knew I had to learn this to help my kids, to be there, to use it as a tool in my family. And I just thought if I could take this to chiropractors in the area. At the time I was living in Kansas City. If I could take that to people I knew, then that was just an added benefit that I could do. But it was really to help my family and myself.
I can totally understand and identify with that. That's really definitely what my beginnings were as well. I was so interested in helping my family and making life better in a family setting was one of my draws to this work from the beginning. So I totally understand that. So how do you describe emotional polarity technique to other people? How do you tell them what you do? What are the words you use?
I try to keep it as simple as possible. More recently, I've gone through all kinds of descriptions. Recently, I have been using, you come in to go through your emotional process. It really seems to resonate with people who have come through recovery programs. They understand emotional process. I've had to learn some of the ways to describe what we're doing because I didn't go through a recovery program and I didn't grow up with psychiatrists. So I've learned some of that.
Wow. Yeah. So what are the top 3 reasons you would recommend a person have EPT done?
Okay, I had to write this down because the top 3 reasons, let me pull out my notes. I think the first reason is emotional distress. When you've got something hard going on in your life, this is great for support. Depression. Usually when you've got really stressful things going on, depression can be a part of it. But some people are living with depression all the time, and they need ongoing support. And this is really good because it just breaks that down, and it's amazing at times, but it can also be just supportive and minimize some of the things that they've been dealing with. The other thing is chronic pain. Chronic physical pain is great for this, and if you're living and working with a difficult person, living or working with difficult people and relationships, this will help you have a safe place to go through the emotional process to get your stuff out without exploding or, you know, self-combusting when you're around other crazy people. That's it.
I don't know any crazy people. None. No, that would probably describe me when I'm trying to do some technology, running around like a crazy.
That's a good time to use EPT.
I have done EPT and had that done for technology. I wouldn't be doing this interview right now, I assure you. So,
yeah, I've done
Sherry,
EPT on filing.
Oh my goodness!
File papers. How to pack in a suitcase. I mean, technology, yes. Okay.
I know. We have both been doing EPT for so many years, and because of that, you know, we can kind of look back and see how it has changed our lives. Like where we are now is probably far different than we would have ever been if we had not taken this journey and made this commitment. And you know, EPT is one of those things you just can't, once you know it, it's like the internet, you can't forget it. You can't put it down. You look at life a whole different way. And so, Sherry, how has EPT changed your life for good?
Well, it's given me, EPT has given me a profession I didn't know existed for me. I have been able to help other people, and I would say I've overcome that part of myself who just wanted to crawl under a rock and be isolated. I have been able to actually build friendships and be okay with them, come out in a lot of ways that I wasn't able to before. That just makes life more vibrant, more colorful, and more connected, more energetic. It's all there.
Wow, that's fantastic. Well, Sherry, I want people to get to know you even a little more. So a lot of people have seen you teaching classes, and I know that some people don't realize that you're also one of the people who has become a master EPT practitioner and gone through that program. And so I just want you to tell people a little bit more about yourself, your life, your family.
My family. I've been married 31 years to a wonderful man. He was in the Army when we got married, so we have moved around a lot. My whole life I've moved around, and I would say EPT has been part of that. How do you deal with those kind of things, stress or how just living life? And we've come through it together, and it's been good. We've raised 4 sons. We have 4 sons that are in their 20s and 30s. 2 are married, so I have 2 wonderful daughter-in-laws, and we're in Huntsville, Alabama now, and that's pretty good. My husband is a constant remodeler. That's another thing I have to do EPT on, but I get great things built for me. He builds me beautiful things, but I have to wait with the mess in the months, you know, and EPT gets me through.
Oh, that's phenomenal. So how has EPT changed your life and your relationships with the people you love the most?
It's helped me remember what's important and how to pay attention to love them and not to destroy bridges, or to help rebuild bridges when I have messed up. You know, it helps me go back. It gives me the tools that I didn't come into life with, and my birth family didn't give me. So it's helped me communicate better.
Wow, I know that birth family really well.
I know you do.
So I have a couple more questions. This one is, I want you to think of the most amazing, just even that has just looked crazy to you, the most amazing experience you've seen or had personally, or had with a client with EPT.
Yeah, that was hard to narrow down to one, because I read that question before we got on here, and I actually have 3. I don't want to narrow it down to one because they're different categories. The first one that's the most amazing is a woman that came in, 1 appointment. That's all I've seen her, 1 time, and she had brain surgery 20 years ago. She'd had a headache for like 28 years. She had a big scar still on her head, and she told me about this headache, 28-year headache, and she told me all this other stuff. She'd been married to her husband for 20 years. No, I think it was 28. Anyway, it was a long time. And so I start working on her, and about half an hour into the session, she said, "My headache is gone." And I'm like, "Really? Your headache's gone?" She said, "I didn't even come in to get rid of my headache, and you just got rid of my headache." I was like, "I was working on your headache." What was it you wanted me to do? I must not have been paying very good attention. She was angry at her husband for being an Amway, okay? She didn't want to be angry at her husband anymore, but when her headache went away, that was really around the Amway issue. And so it was all together and meshed together in one thing. And I said, "Well, you know, I really am impressed that your 28-year headache's gone." She said, "You're impressed. I'm really impressed because I haven't felt what it felt like to not have a headache for this long." I said, "Well, let's just keep working because I don't want it to come back." So we worked another hour. I didn't know. I want to like see if this was going to come back. And it never came back in a whole hour and a half, and she's not come back to me because she just left like in this kind of stunned and going, "I think I'm going to be a different woman when I get home tonight." It's very exciting, though. I'm laughing because it stuns me as much as it did her. And she went home, and I've got her phone. I should probably call her because that's been several years ago, and she's in this town. But I have not, okay? So I'll do a follow-up with her maybe. The other one, do I have time?
Oh, yeah.
1 person, 1 time. Okay, somebody else, they came like 3 times. Was a 17-year-old whose voice had not changed, and he had been doing a year of voice therapy and a year of physical therapy at Vanderbilt, which is just up the road from us, and with no change in his voice. He still talked like a little boy. And after 1 hour of therapy, and the next week he went back to his therapist, he had 3 hours of low voice actually happen. And then the next week he came back like 2 weeks later to me, and he did another hour, and that following week his voice was holding, and he's in his 20s now. It
Wow.
was a while, and he
Oh
has
my
not
God.
been back. Now,
Oh
here's
man.
the third category of person that's amazing to me is the person that does not come for just one thing. There are people who come and go, oh, I've got this one thing, and I've heard you do amazing things. Can you try this? And some of it, you know, very often they get results, and other times some people leave disappointed. I don't get them done in an hour, and they think, well, what was wrong with that? And so it's the third person who has had depression and been at a psychiatrist for week after week after week, and they come in and they get amazing results, and they're like, where have you been all my life? They are not getting they're not experiencing the depression or the same things that they have, and now they want to use EPT regularly because they see the value. They've been going to a psychiatrist for 30 years, and now they're coming to me and checking in with their psychiatrist and saying, why didn't you take me here? Why didn't you go here with me? She's getting me places, and I'm changed. I'm not like angry at my mom anymore. I'm not angry at my dad anymore. And you know, the depression, I've got a life to live. It's gone. So that's a third amazing client.
Wow, that is fantastic. That is so good. And wow, I love that category of the person who understands that they just need that kind of emotional support at a professional level. And EPT can be a partner on a team with professionals who do this work. And a lot of times EPT can shine on its own and kind of pick up where those other methods kind of fall short. So I would agree with you in that that is a fantastic place to find that you can help people. All right. Finally, my last question is, what would you say to someone who would be considering, I kind of think I want to try this, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I think maybe, but it makes me nervous. What would you say to that person who's wondering and thinking they might do this, but they are not sure?
I would say get past your fear, come in, try it. There's no loss to try it. You won't feel worse, and it's all confidential. I do phone work also, so sometimes people call me on the phone from other cities. I also go on private retreats with people, or they come to my office where we have a nice room, and we're just going to step through it, you know, step at a time, and give me some trust, a little bit of trust, and see what happens. Just experience it. Experience it. And if you are dissatisfied, I'm okay with that. You don't have to come back, but try it once.
Fantastic. Fantastic. It's kind of it's the kind of thing that when you do try it once, the majority of people are just kind of amazed at that they didn't know that this kind of change was possible at such a deep level so quickly.
Well,
So,
yes.
yeah,
The people that have tried it once years ago, they don't forget. They remember. It touches them so deeply.
that is so true. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and I'm kind of amazed when I get referrals from people that I don't remember because I only saw them twice and it's been years, but they didn't forget me and they didn't forget what I did with them with EPT. So thank you so much, Sherry,
You are
for
welcome.
being on my team. Thank you for doing EPT. Thank you for helping heal the world one person at a time. And we'll talk.
I love you, Annette.
I love you too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.